Alexandria up north, and in 2 other cities. Reports say at least 9 people were hurt, and this would be the biggest flare-up, really, since August, when authorities broke up those giant sit-ins by Morsi supporters, killing dozens. Let's talk more about the ongoing political crisis in Egypt. Ashraf Khalil has written a book about the revolution, Liberation Square, and he's covered Egypt for publications including Time magazine. Ashraf joins me from Cairo via Skype. So we're seeing once again a flare-up in violence. Morsi supporters trying to make it to Tahrir Square, the iconic gathering place. They're being stopped. Does this surprise you, the fact that it's ongoing, the violence in the streets?
To an extent, it was inevitable. I mean, the Muslim Brotherhood has reduced their activities to an extent, but they've never fully gone away. They've continued to hold protests fairly regularly, almost every day. Somewhere they're having a protest. You know, they've maintained their numbers, and we're headed towards sort of a crossroads moment in Tahrir on Sunday. On Sunday is a national holiday. It's a military-oriented national holiday. It's a celebration of the 1973 war with Israel. So the pro-military people have already planned a protest in Tahrir Square, and the brothers are keying on that and basically announcing a rolling holiday weekend of increased protest activity and presumably increased clashes with the police. And it's all going to come together. We might have a situation where both sides attempt to lay claim to Tahrir Square on Sunday.
So we got to keep an eye on Sunday. Good to point that out. But the overall picture for Egypt, I mean, just anecdotal little things like foreign students not wanting to go to the American University in Cairo anymore, tourism numbers plummeting, the fact that the economy is just having such a difficult time right now, bouncing back from terrible levels that it saw after 2011. I mean, this country, Egypt, where is it going right now?
Nowhere good. I mean, even the proponents of the military takeover, the proponents of Morsi's ouster, the ones who saw this as a necessary step in order to get the country on the right track and avoid a disaster, they acknowledge that the last 2.5 years have basically at best been a waste, and at worst have damaged the country and put us further and further away from the idea of any kind of national consensus. And it's hard to predict a rapid resolution to this because of the way that Morsi's ouster went down as a military-backed takeover. The Muslim Brotherhood is never going to negotiate with what they view as a coup. In their mind, there's nothing to negotiate. So now they're basically shifting tactics. They're claiming that the current government has lost legitimacy.
And Ashraf, you speak of I was going to say, you speak of the military leaders who took over after ousting Mohamed Morsi. And there's an interesting little snippet of a video that's been circulating online that was leaked by an Islamist news platform, and that's on YouTube now. And it features General Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the head of the military and currently essentially in charge in the country, talking months ago, before the ouster of Mohamed Morsi, about the media and how members of the military felt that being openly criticized by members of the media is something they weren't used to, wanting to go back to the old guard. Let's listen to a portion of that leaked video.
Red lines are for all of us. I want to stress that the law doesn't allow the media to mention us, even now. The media cannot even use the name of a member of the armed forces in an obituary without the approval of the military intelligence. But the situation caused by the revolution has dismantled all the shackles that were present, not just for us, not just for the military, but for the entire state. The state was dismantled and is being rearranged. The rules and the shackles were dismantled and they are being rearranged.
So there you have it, Sisi in this video that's being seen now online. What do you make of that? This was months before the ouster, and people will say this was foreshadowing all the arrests of journalists and the closures of TV stations.
Well, for starters, it's fascinating insight into el-Sisi and the way he thinks, the way he expresses himself. I mean, considering how powerful the man is, most people here have not heard him give anything more than a fairly pro forma speech, much less, talking about deep, the deep measures like this. But it's, to an extent, it's no surprise. It reflects how the military acted during the 15 months when they ran the country after Hosni Mubarak was ousted, and they were very strict with the media. The red lines. But as he said, these red lines about the military never fully went away. You know, even in late stage Mubarak, when Egyptians shattered the red line about criticizing Mubarak personally, about criticizing his family, crossed so many lines, the line about how you report about the military or even mention the military peripherally, that never really broke. And so to an extent, it's not a surprise. It is a fascinating but not super unexpected insight into the way that the military views the media and views itself.
Right. Ashraf Khalil, thanks very much. Sorry for the choppy Skype connection, but we got, thankfully, the gist of all your great analysis on the latest in